Push the weight in no flex. Flex alive is one in the six. With the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. It's time to bleed. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDD. Well, y'all gonna be in y'all feelings this morning, and that's fine. I don't mind. Let's do this roll call because I want to get to this work. Stormy B-Man in the building with everything. Salute to you, good brother. Columbia. Brandon Shamar. GG Champ, salute. EJ, what's going on? Michael Fleming, where you been? Good to see you. Lost from the Jungle, 88 Sports Talk, always supporting. Salute to you, good brother. Rod Nail, Houston in the building. The Brothers UK, salute, brother. Coach Hudson in the building, salute. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a slow cook. This is going to be a crock pot cook. They don't get mad. That's okay. G. McCall, salute. Mind of Mansa Musa, my brother, salute. Shaquilla Fields, the queen, is in the building. Salute. John Big G, salute. Del Riv, Unique Dawn. What's going on? Yep. That's right. One Deep in the building. What's going on, brother? Steve Elder Mack, the real Shelton. What's going on? Eric Jordan in the building. What's going on? Robert Singleton. Rashad, what up? Derek Gaines, the legend. Jose, what's going on? Cuba in the building. Tay, good morning. Yep. Oh, yeah, Mr. Shelter. This is what we cooking on. Hell yeah. Cast Videos, what up? Eric Myers, salute. I want to get to this. And salute to everybody. Todd Swindle. Salute. Another day. God gave us another day. So let's get to this. This move right here, it further solidifies Bud's place not only in history, but whether he realizes it or not, whether he's looking at it like this solidifies his place amongst black fighters. I hold Bud to the highest of standards. I respect his career. I've had some questions, business choices, but at no point, Ern Jordan, salute. At no point did I ever say Bud was trash. You can't find it where I've said it. Matter of fact, there's a lot of fighters I haven't said was trash. I never said that. The only thing that I never understood with Bud was the Errol Spence thing. But you know what happened? When Errol moved away from up under Al Heyman, the brothers made the fight, did they not? That's all I ever cared about. That's all I ever cared about. And Bud generated compliance, as did Errol. And we got a winner out of that, which was Bud. And he's been on a tear ever since. You understand? Andrew Gray, salute. So the Errol Spence fight, my question was answered. Never had a problem with Bud. It was just the business things that I didn't understand. And that's over with. That's over with. So now, after he beat his number one contemporary, there's that word. After he beat his number one contemporary, he's been on a tear ever since. Respect it. Capital R. Respect it. That's it. That's it. And I love the fact that he went out on his own terms. I hope he stays gone, because I don't want him to give this the boxing public, especially the American boxing public, notably the casuals, y'all don't deserve anything. Y'all don't deserve anything. Y'all have short attention spans. Y'all are the product of ADD. Y'all grew up on Ritalin and Prozac, and y'all are eating Takis all day long. It affects your brains. You are what you eat. It affects your brains. Y'all are in front of computers all day long. Y'all don't go outside and play anymore. Something's hot for about a good year, and then it's on to the next. Your decision-making skills is horrible. And y'all are super sensitive. Y'all are very, 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 very sensitive. And it's disgusting. Y'all don't y'all are not free thinkers. You follow the masses, and it's a recipe for disaster. But that's a little pep talk. Pep talk tonight, by the way. And yeah, go subscribe to my Patreon because I really take the gloves off over there. IDAF over there on Patreon. I let it fly. Thank you, Tay Tay. So anyway, now I've seen pictures of Bud and Devin in the gym. This ain't one of them. I just made this up, by the way. But Bud made a statement after Devin beat Brian Norman Jr. And salute to Brian Norman Jr. I don't recall the exact quote, but he basically said, you know, you guys counted Devin out and said all this crap. Look at him now. I don't know word for word. He said something on a positive note, but basically he talked Devin up. He talked Devin up. Like, you know, yeah, look at you. Look at y'all. Y'all counting this brother out. Now look. Now look what y'all got to say now. I said, man, that's dope. I've seen pictures of him and Devin in the boxing ring and Bud dropping gems. And Devin is like a sponge. Everybody that I spoke to that worked with Devin, they all said the same thing. Shane Mosey said the same thing. I never spoke to Bud, but for Bud to be working with Devin, I'm sure he feels that way. You know, and everybody that's worked with Devin in the gym has nothing but great things to say about him. He loves the game. He loves the sport of boxing. He was, you know, born to do this. There's just certain things that people are born to do. Michael Jordan wanted to play basketball. I mean, wanted to play baseball. You know that? Go watch his story. He didn't want to play ball, like basketball. He wanted to play baseball. That's what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? He was cut from his team in high school when he played basketball. And I don't know, he just ended up in college. You know, he's a Tar Heel, and he wasn't even number one in the draft, man. And now look, 20 sneakers later, he's the GOAT. When you got other GOATs saying that he's the GOAT. Come on, man. This is coming from a man who, it's like, yo, come on, man. Come on. We almost didn't get him. He wanted to play baseball. You know? Nicholas Levy, salute. Look, man. Devin is on that level, and I don't care what you say, because he's still active, of course. But the more I notice we talk Devin up, the more hate he gets, and I love it, because guess what, y'all? All I see is the what? The work. So while you're hating, all I see is his work. And all I'll say to you is, how does he compare to the fighter that you slurp? That's the conversation. And we're going to do it here. We're going to do it here this morning. Ain't going to take long. Yeah, yo, Devin sucks. Oh, man, Devin. Okay, who do you root for? Who's your favorite fighter? What town are you from? What braids do you like? Tattoos? Okay, well, okay. Let's compare. We're going to do it today. Let's compare. Let us compare. And I'm going to silence a lot of you foul mofos. I'm going to silence a lot of you. And y'all going to go to y'all goddamn live streams. and talk about this live, and you ain't got to sneak this. Say my name. You've been doing it. It's okay. But all I see is the work. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'll say? Prove me wrong. True Boxing Night, salute. For our sniper, salute. Brother Code, Kawhi Elliott. Prove me wrong. That's all I got. So I'm going to say. Every bit of shine that Devin gets is well-deserved because he earned it. Chances are your favorite fighter's getting a lot of shine that he doesn't deserve. And I'm going to prove it. Steve-O, salute. So, every time I've seen Bud interact with Devin, I see them in the boxing ring. I see them on the track, dapping it up. They're putting in work. When have you ever seen Bud out of shape? Go ahead. Shelton, he could never do that. He was born wrong. Muggsy Bogues looking ass. When is Bud ever out of shape? Bud probably in the gym right now, just hanging out. Healthy habits. Ain't doing nothing. I'm bored. Let me go to the gym and just, I don't know, just pedal on the bike. Not going nowhere, you know, stationary bike. Just pedal. Hey, I'm watching this show on Netflix. Let me do some crunches. He lives a fighter's lifestyle. The man don't drink, don't smoke. He loves women. Like a lot of men, but, you know, okay. That had me concerned. But you whooped Canelo's ass, so that's all I wanted. I didn't want him to be distracted. Now the 86 in that super chat, salute. He says, salute, Drew, and salute to the mighty LDBC, man. Salute to you, good brother. Black Jericho, salute, brother. Thank you so much, Nada. Appreciate you. Oh, word, Jose? Well, you know, I appreciate that. Truth is truth, man. Truth is truth. Truth is truth. You know, let me give you the other side of truth. And I say this all the time. Once upon a time, Sergey Kovalev was the #1 light heavyweight in the world. And I think he was pretty high on the pound for pound list when he was. He might have been 2 or 3, if I don't recall. Because I was back like in 2015, 2014. It was before he fought Andre Ward, of course. When he whooped on Bernard Hopkins, he was like top 3 pound for pound in the world. And I hated that. But it was the truth at that time. Son of Tank, salute. It was the truth. You can hate a guy all you want, but it was the truth. I'll give him that. He ain't popped dirty. He never had any, you know, troubles with PEDs or nothing like that. But I knew about how he was as a person. I said, man, I don't like this guy, man. But damn, he beat Bernard Hopkins' ass. I never seen Bernard on his bike like that, getting knocked around the ring. I never seen that. Jim, what up? It was the truth. It was the truth. Here's the truth about Bud. Now, let me say this. There's a lot people could say about Bud. But here's what I'm going to say to the brothers and sisters. There is a lot you could say about Bud. Tim, what up? But I'm leaning on more of the side where I don't need to say it. Do you know why? How many of these fools be on YouTube saying negative about Canelo that are Mexican? They would rather tear down legends like Chavez, Marquez, Eric Morales, who's all held Canelo to a standard. And they were right. I just named 3 legends. They say Canelo's the GOAT. They be like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. He's pretty damn good and the highest paid and the most popular Mexican fighter. But there are things he should have done. And I've seen fans turn on the legends. I'll give you another example. When Anthony Joshua was turning heads a few years ago, And then they throw the mic in front of Lennox Lewis. They say, your thoughts on AJ? He says, well, you know, he has to fight Deontay. How fast did the public turn on Lennox? I was like, yo, what is this? That's Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis, in my lifetime, Lennox Lewis is the standard. Feeders March, salute. The CD, what up? Lennox Lewis is the standard of heavyweight boxing, of boxing period. From the 90s, he is the standard. And they were saying AJ's the next Lennox Lewis, and Lennox Lewis has no problem passing the torch. But he said, wait a minute, this guy in America, you got to go do that. Win or lose, you got to go do that. And I told y'all, if Lennox Lewis was running around in his youth today, he'd have fought Deontay 3 times by now. Lennox Lewis was like that. How fast did these goddamn Brits turn on Lennox? And you know what? They got a problem with fans over there too. They're fanatics. They're crazy over there too. They're crazy. They got nuts over there too. And those are the people talking about abs and legs and how big AJ's penis is. I'm not kidding. Y'all think I'm exaggerating? Hold on. You go ahead and read that. That was sent to BFTV. I'm not exaggerating. Look at that. Read that. Look at that. Look at the year. Who creates an email to send that to another grown man? Look at that. See? Nope. You didn't even play like that, man. You didn't even play like that. What grown man does that? Now look, if that's a woman sending that, life makes sense. Like, all right, you know, she's hot for these boxers. Okay, she likes seeing dudes fight with their shirt off. I get it. But that was a man. That was a man that did that. And those were the dudes that jumped on the AJ bandwagon. What I tell you about these new kids, they paint their fingernails, they wear tight jeans. A lot of them talk with a lisp. You know, bisexuality is normal for these men. They're cucks. You know, Ritalin, Prozac, the diet is all messed up. So they're in there talking about the size of AJ's penis. So you got to understand, when it comes to these fighters, we're legitimately having different conversations with people. We're talking about the sport and what we want to see the best of the best do. And they're talking about chrome hearts, braided hair, and tattoos. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? That's just real. That's just real. We're having two different conversations. When you have someone that can join a panel and say, and argue over Tank, argue over him because he's not saying anything of substance. And y'all know who I'm talking about. When this grown-ass man can argue over Tank but then admit that he's a casual, that's sick. That is sick. That's an obsession. That's homosexuality. You're a closet homo. Don't tell me you have 5 kids and 3 baby mamas and you're infatuated with Tank to the point that you have a poster of this man in your home. You're running from something. Ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about. The dude that runs around and have babies all over the place and he's a Rolling Stone. He's running from something. You gotta sleep with every chick. You gotta make babies. What's going on with you? When they get a little older, they come into their own. You'll look, you know what? I like the smell of poop. I like boo-boo stains in the front of my jaws. Oh, you're gay. Oh, okay. You should have made peace with yourself, but you ran around and made a whole bunch of kids. Y'all heard of a boxer named Yusuf Mack? I'm going to ask y'all again. Y'all heard of a boxer named Yusuf Mack? He fought Carl Froch. He's a professional boxer. Guess what? He fell on hard times, and he popped up in a gay pornography film. And people were running around trying to make excuses for him, and then he had to come clean. He says, yeah, I'm like that. What? Yeah. Yeah, you could have made peace with that before you made... Yusuf Mack got like 12 kids. Look it up. He's in like the double digits with kids. Yusuf Mack. Look up his box rec. And I'm not talking bad about him. I'm just saying, these dudes that run around and do things like that, you gotta wonder, like, hold on, bro. You're creating broken homes. What are you doing? Hold on, slow down. Be who you are. Stop making babies. What are you doing? You trying to make yourself straight? No, man. If that's how you are, that's who you are, whatever, man. Run around making babies like that. Come on, dogs. That's a psychological thing. Look up Yusuf Mack. Look it up. Look it up. Some dude was trolling him and clowning him over that porn. That dude was in his town. He ran up on him on a barbershop. It's on YouTube and started whooping his ass. And justifiably so. You ain't got to troll him. Yusuf ran up on him at a barbershop or some shit. Start tuning that dude up. He's still a pro fighter. Stop it. And Froch didn't knock him out either. But my point is the mental behind that. It's crazy. Be who you are. What does this have to do with what I'm talking about? How many times I gotta tell y'all? People have to qualify to talk boxing with you. If I'm trying to talk about best fighting the best, and you're on my panel stuttering and admitting you're a casual, but trying to justify the dickhead moves of another kid who I feel is a closet homosexual, I'm looking at you strange. And then you got posters of this nigga in your house? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You shouldn't be talking to me. If you want to learn about the sport, you should be doing more listening than trying to, not even talking. You're doing all the talking and you arguing with people. Drew, you don't like Tank. I don't. And I explained my position and why. And I'm not wrong. I tell everyone, tell me I'm wrong. When have I lied on that kid? I never did. But you accept this dumb shit. And I'm telling y'all, before it was Tank, it was AJ fans. And when they flipped on Lennox Lewis, I said, oh no, y'all are bugging. Then I said, oh, BF got that email from these dudes. Okay, they in love with AJ. They want to sleep with this dude. And I never seen this dude in a picture with no women. He's always with his boys at a club, legs on each other. I'm like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is normalized, though. Who you fussing with? When you realize who you fussing with or what you're dealing with, you got to back off. Freedom's March in that super chat salute. He says, these floppies literally have episodes called EW, LMNOP boxing at its worst. What is that, bro? Yo, I'm doing what up, man? Main biker in the building. Des, what up? PGX, what up? Des in that super chat salute. He says, Drew, hit that link. What link? There's a link? Did I ever hear Yusuf talk? He got slurred speech? I saw an interview with him, but I couldn't get through it. Just Spark, salute. Well, once I knew, first of all, I was still on Facebook when that happened. And people were like, oh, you heard about Yusuf Mack? I said, man, please don't get the gossiping, man. Look, leave him alone. And then bro warned me. He said, yo, bro, I got to send you the cover of the video, the alleged video. So first he sent me the cover, and he's on there with a bunch of dudes dressed like thugs. And I'm like, all right, what's this? He said, bro, I'm about to send you the back cover of this DVD or whatever. So I took a deep breath and I was like, all right, man, but you know, they do a lot of shit. And Jesus Christ, it was him. Almost burnt my phone, bro. Almost burnt my phone. That was, bro, that, Okay, he sent me something from Twitter. All right. Yo, what is this? All right, what I'm looking at, some dude, is he flirting with this dude? Some grown-ass man. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Yo, all right, look, some grown-ass man. I don't know, what do they call it on Twitter? I'm not on Twitter. I think he tweeted Tank and said, "Tank, you so fine, gang." And Tank blocked him, and he said, Tank responded, he said, "And you so blocked, bitch." And then dude is like, "Someone tell my man to unblock me." He said, "I was just playing." Nah, nigga. No. Oh, stop. Oh my God. Yo. Nah. Chill. Oh my God. Nah, bro. Yeah, I got tears in my eyes, bro. He said, "Yo, you so fine." He said, "And you so blocked." These niggas be gay as fuck. Oh my God. Yo, look, it's out there, bro. Understand what y'all defending. You want to be rolled up into one ball with these dudes that have sexual attraction towards these fight? Man, stop it, bro. Stop it. When I hear grown men talking about the size of Devin Haney's nose, I'm like, why are you paying attention to that? What? Wide noses on black men comes from a lineage of kings. Just let that sink in. Freedom's marching that super chat. He says, "E-Ho Weight Watchers." It's called EWW with a voiced. Well, I'm still laughing at that tweet. Oh my God. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Oh boy. These dudes is aggressive now, aren't they? Oh my God. Prez, what up? That's my God. Anyway, already, do y'all see the fundamental difference between Terrence Bud Crawford and Floyd Mayweather? And already, I don't give a damn about no 50-0 record. And Floyd could have forced undisputed. He'd have had to go through a lot of red tape while he was an active fighter. And he just chose not to do it. And, you know, that's fine. That's fine. Black Undertaker, salute. That's fine. But Bud did the damn thing. And when he chose to interact with Devin Haney, there was no hatred. Iron sharpens iron. And I'm sure Bud gave him some key elements in his as far as performance in the ring, and he applied it to his game. In other words, he didn't look at Devin as a potential threat not so much in the ring, but a threat to his legacy, which is, salute Queen, which is what Floyd is, the insecure midget that he is. Because he's insecure. Oh, Drew, why would you say that? Yeah, listen, man. Listen. You know what? Again, that's pep talk. You can have all the money in the world. You can see a dude with cars and everything else. I guarantee you, there's a high chance that motherfucker's insecure about something. These women, oh, come on. These women too. Being insecure is a mindset. I just want you to know that. I grew up with my boy Q. Q was about 6'4", and he looked like the notorious B.I.G. before we knew who B.I.G. was. And he talked like him and everything. He breathed heavy. He played ball, but Q was a big dude. He was overweight, dark skin, and he talked like that. But he was funny as hell. He always had jokes. But Q was always well dressed. He was one of the first people out of our age group that actually bought a vehicle. He always had a job. And you know what? He always had a woman. He always had a woman. Always. And some people on the outside looking in that didn't know him, they're like, yo, how this fat black nigga always got a bad bitch with him? Well, I just told you, he always kept a vehicle. He made an honest living. I think last time, because my boy since died. He passed a few years ago. But last I saw here, he worked for Verizon. And he was always well dressed. So where he lacked in quote unquote eye appeal, he made up for in how he kept himself. And he had a personality that lit up a room. That was my dogs, for real. Rest in power to my boy Quincy. And that kind of hit me hard just now. So I grew up with that brother. And confidence, he had it, a ton of it. You called him all kinds of fat, it didn't bother him. It didn't bother him at all. I see some of these dudes, and it's like, bro, why you behaving like that? Chris, what up? Why you behaving like that? Why you walking around with a chip on your shoulder? What Bud did with Devin, Floyd, you thought he was doing that, but it turned out he was hating on him because Devin was a threat. So he thought it was a threat to Floyd's quote unquote legacy. I said at the top of the show, every fighter, if you want to be a douche about it, you could nitpick on every fighter's path. You could nitpick on every fighter's resume. You can nitpick. You can. But as far as Bud is concerned, I choose not to. I choose not to. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I know Bud Crawford got some weird fanatics. I know that. It's weird. You know, a lot of Bud fans, I was just going back and forth with Drink More Water the other day on in 78's chat. And I just said, brother, you got to let it go. You got to let it go. We was talking about how Oscar was trying to pick apart Bud. Oscar, shut up. Oscar, shut up, bro. Shut up. Now, Oscar has a great career too, but I could pick apart his career too. But Oscar's being an asshole. Shut up. And then here come the brother Drink More Water. I mean, that's my brother, but here he come. Oh, it's funny how people defending Bud with the same people tearing him up. I'm like, bro, you got to get over that. You got to get over that. Relishing the fact that we're all on one accord now. We had questions. You got to get over that. You've won. Bud has won. The only problem a lot of us had was the Errol Spence thing. That worked. The brothers they worked it out. They fought. That's it. That's it. Here we are as a community protecting our brother, and you're still in the chat with this? You got to get over that because we're doing what we're supposed to do. Are we not? The Errol Spence question was answered. The business part was rectified between them. We're all on one accord. And you in here still sour. You're behaving. I told them in the chat, and I'm not talking bad about them. I'm just telling y'all who some of y'all were there. I said, you're acting like the wife that got everything in the divorce. You got the house, the sports car. He got to pay alimony and child support. And you the one that initiated the divorce for irreconcilable differences. That's just life. K-Rod, salute. That's the life. That's just life. You won, and you still in here talking? We're doing what the black community is supposed to do. We're protecting our own. Get over it. And that's another reason how black people can't move forward. Get over it. Get over it. It's over. Because that's dangerous. That's very dangerous. I don't see Mexican fans doing that to Canelo. Now, I said that there's a bunch of things every boxer, career-wise, we could pick apart. We could nitpick on things. Every fighter. I don't see Mexicans in abundance doing that to Canelo. That's why I got him running away from Benavidez over here. He refused to pass the torch to that man. Canelo been caught in several lies. And he's a drug cheat. But you heard me say how many times that he's still a Hall of Famer? How many times you heard me say that? Yo, he's still a Hall of Famer, though. You heard me say that. You heard me say that. Did you ever hear me say Canelo's trash in the ring? I'm disappointed. I said, man, I didn't think he need clenbuterol to compete, man. Disappointed, man. There's a lot of people that feels, oh, man, he could beat Benavidez. All I said was what? Great, let's see it. And let the adventure begin. Oh, my guy could beat this guy. Okay, let's get it. Oh, you just hating on my guy. No, you said your guy could beat everybody. I said, let me see it. How did we get here? What the fuck is wrong with you? You bipolar ass. It's ridiculous. Y'all weren't around in the 80s and early 90s. I keep saying this because it reminds me. You male fanatics remind me of the girls I went to school with in junior high school. I used to buy Right On magazine. This is before XXL. This is before the Source magazine. There was a magazine that kept us in the loop with the hip hop and R&B culture, the black culture. It was called Right On, and there was another one. I forgot. Now, I used to, because of course there was no internet, I used to buy that magazine to be kept up to speed. Word Up magazine. Thank you. It was Right On and Word Up. Thank you, Erico. I bought those magazines to stay in the loop. Thank you, Abdul. To stay in the loop of what was going on in the community. What I didn't need was a big old folder, a pull-out poster of LL Cool J. I didn't need that. Ralph Tresvant, Heavy D and the Boys. I didn't need that. So when I came to school, because the magazine came out every month, the girls would swarm me. Who's in the poster? Oh, Keith Sweat. I'll be sure. And I'm tearing them out and giving it to the girls. You know why? Why am I putting that on? Clarence, what up? Why would I put that on my wall? LL Cool J with his shirt open. Why do I want that on my wall? No, here, take it. And don't you dare talk about I'll be showing this unibrow. Mark, what up? Don't you dare. These girls be chasing you around the school. You are trying to throw hands at you. Yo, I'll be sure can't sing. God, stop talking about my baby. And they chase you around the schoolyard trying to hit you. That's who you fanatics remind me of. Don't be talking about my tank. Don't talk about my tanky wanky. You're a hater. Why? Because you said he knocks out everybody and I just want him to fight everybody around him. Wait a minute. He's a boxer, right? Okay, so he beats everybody, right? Okay, I'm a supporter of the sport. I want to see that. Maybe he can. I was one of the people saying, I don't think Bud could beat Errol. Errol too big. Well, we saw the fight, right? I was there. Drink More Water was there. I met him. We were talking about the rematch. He said, man, it's going to happen in the rematch again. I said, you know what? It might. Because he got smoked. I wasn't outside hating, y'all, man, fuck that. Yo, Errol was drained. No, fuck that. Errol got in there. And whatever was going on, whatever I heard, Errol ain't mentioned it, so I'm cool. See you at 54. Did we get the fight? No. And now Bud's retired. So, okay, we'll never get it. I'm cool. I'm cool. Question was answered. It's still man down over here. But to disrespect Bud, I'm not having that. No. No. And for him to co-sign Devin Haney, do y'all understand what I was building up to now? Because if Devin Haney wasn't that dude, he wouldn't be passing the torch to him. Hello. That's why I hold Bud to a higher standard than Floyd Mayweather. Because Bud's not no goddamn hater. And I also understood Bud. He's very particular about who he speaks to and who he hangs around. You know why? Because it shames me to say this, but it's the truth. He knows what's going on in the community. A lot of black people mean him well. A lot of black people don't. They don't. Why do you think Deontay limits who he speaks to? When he stopped speaking leading up to the Fury 3 fight. When he stopped speaking to people. Yeah, we know. There's a lot of dysfunction in our community. We know. How we treat our own fighters, I don't see Mexicans doing that to Canelo. And Canelo froze out Benavidez. Benavidez say, man, fuck that. I ain't waiting on this dude. I went to 175. You want me to point out the Canelo lies? Pick one. I'll never fight another Mexican fighter because I represent Mexico. First of all, some of the greatest rivalries came out of Mexico. Morales Barrera. Come on, bro. I mean, they cool now, but yo, when they were competing, they hated each other. They were punching each other in the face at the goddamn presses, bro. I was like, oh my God. Neither one of them speak a lick of English. And we loved it, did we not? Stop it. Don't get me started on Juan Manuel Marquez. He's not only my favorite Mexican fighter of all time, he's one of my favorite fighters of all time. Check the goddamn resume. You can't tell me anything bad about Juan. You can't. You cannot. I'll probably beat you up. Don't talk bad about Marquez. I don't want to hear it. You ain't got nothing to say to me. That man fought, he ain't ducked no smoke. None. Fighting Pacquiao 4 times. Come on, man, stop it. Check the resume, man. He's been kicking ass and taking names, or at least trying to, since the 90s, bruh. Stop it. Stop it. Not gonna let y'all do it. And he was critical of Canelo. He didn't cut his ass. He didn't snake him. He just told the truth. He didn't snake him. Marquez didn't do to Canelo, or try to do to Canelo, what Floyd literally did to Devin. pulling up on Bill on Instagram, talking crazy. Oh, you look like your son needed my help last night. No, he didn't. He needs your fucking help. You did enough, stupid. And the truth is, when you saw Devin working in your gym, you knew what it was. You said, oh, shit. When they asked your daddy, who's the closest thing to your son? He said, who that boy? He said, Tank? He said, no, the other boy. Devin. Oh, didn't they fight in sparring? Yeah, they fought. Who won? He said, who you think? Devin. And literally like 4 years later, there was a debate about that video. I'm like, hold on. I heard him talk about that sparring. Floyd Sr. said Devin beat him. And then we start finding out that there was money involved, and then a half-ass video came out. I'm like, oh, this is edited. You can't tell it's edited. And then when Floyd got mad at Tank, magically, the real sparring came out, and all of a sudden, nobody won't talk about his sparring anymore. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't know there was money on the line. Then when we found out that there was money on the line, I think Bill left with $10,000. He didn't bet against his son. So I was telling you idiots, how the hell did Devin lose the sparring and Bill won the money? What? What? I literally heard an asshole on a panel say, oh, well, they were scared because Bill had goons with him. They just gave him the money. Man, shut up. Shut up. Tank was outnumbered. Man, and still, you heard what I heard. I was like, what the fuck? Man, stop making shit up, bro. He lost. He quit. And it's doghouse rules. This means you fight till you quit. He quit. And I know that's the truth. You know why? He has a habit of doing that. Ask Elijah Pierce. Elijah started hitting him back, and he quit. He quit. Brian Norman whooped his ass. Made him quit. Tank is on record saying, yo, man, Atlanta, y'all got a gem over there. Y'all got a real one in Atlanta. And I say this respectfully. What did Devin do to that real one? But then when I get on here and say, Tank doesn't want any smoke with Devin, I'm a hater. I'm just looking at the facts, man. If Devin was a mark, don't you think he'd have took care of him already? That's all I'm saying. If Shakur was a mark, don't you think Tank would have took care of that already and snatched that goddamn belt from him? If Teofimo was a mark, don't you think when he was unified, Tank with his A-side power would have stepped in and just said, let me get those 3 belts, man. Fuck a Cambosis. You see what I mean? I'm just looking at what's going on. Trey Will, salute. I'm just looking at what's going on. These are the questions. But then you got dudes that are admitted casuals coming on the panel talking about just making shit up. It's like, bro, hold on. You just discredited yourself by saying you're a casual. I really am not interested in what you have to say now. I'm not listening to a nigga that got a poster of Tank in his house. Dude, that's gay. But anyway, the fact that Bud is doing this, it speaks volumes about him as a person, as a competitor. They, listen, records are made to be broken. I don't see Bill Russell hating on Jabbar. I don't see Jabbar hating on LeBron James. I just don't see it. I've heard Michael Jordan say, hey, man, records are made to be broken. The 72-10 Bulls, when the Warriors came through and beat their record, their regular season record, I ain't see Jordan and Pippen being salty in interviews. They both are on record. That, to my knowledge, unless y'all know something different, they were like, hey, man, your records are made to be broken. Shout out to them. I could be a dick and say, man, you done broke the 72-10 Bulls records and lost in the finals to Cleveland. Big Joe Townsend, salute. I mean, 72-10 Bulls went on to win the chip that year. The Warriors did not. But so what? There was no shade. So what? It's all right. Y'all agree that iron sharpens iron, right? So if iron sharpens iron and Bud put down the gloves, and every time he was around Devin, they were chopping it up and he was giving them pointers, and I'm sure there was things he was learning from Devin. But Devin loves the game, man. He loves it. Why couldn't Floyd do that? He even hated on Tank. But I'll tell you what he did do. He passed the torch to Canelo, thinking that it would be out of reach to a black fighter. That's what he did. Y'all remember when he tried to get, when they were in talks at first, Devin and Ryan Garcia, and then there was a video. 3 Meat, what up? There was a video. Prince Savage, salute if I missed you. There was a video of Ryan at the mall or something with Floyd wearing his gold chain. Super suspect. Talking about, yeah, man, I'm not going to fight Devin. Ain't no money fighting Devin. I'm going to fight Rolly. He was trying to get Ryan to fight Rolly. The Latino connection. There's more money in that. Remember that? And then he reneged and said, nah, I'm going to go ahead and fight Devin. Remember that? Then remember when he was asked, did you tell Ryan Garcia to come in overweight and miss weight? Y'all remember what Floyd said? I got to be careful what I say because next thing you know, I'll get hit with a lawsuit. Remember that? You know what he didn't say? He didn't say no. He didn't say no. Now, what the fuck was the purpose of him when Bill is on live? What was the purpose of him trying to talk to Bill other than to get the world to see them arguing? Something that Floyd initiated. Floyd's not no godfather. Oh, you don't want to fuck with me? I'm going to make sure everything around you fucks up. That's no way to be. And you might not see it now, but what happens is, you know, we're human. We want instant gratification, but I need y'all to know God don't work that way. It's on his time. It's not on our time. I'm going to say it again. It's never on our time. It's on God's time. And as humans, we want instant gratification. I get it. But what God's doing right now with Floyd is he's simply building a case. He's building a case. And when things start going left for him and he has to figure out, man, why is this happening? He has to reflect on all the dirt he did. Universe is 360 degrees, man. 100% you get what you put out. You get what you put out. Money won't save you. Every relationship that you burnt, it's going to come back to you, man. It will come back to you. 100%. That's why I don't worry about this thing on social media. Let these knuckle-dragging Negroes talk. Let them talk. Nobody knows me. Only a handful of people in this social media space knows me. They've met me. That's why I don't worry about them. I don't. They said what they felt they had to say. They started it. And I said what I have to say. And I'll leave it there. But even in this year, you've watched people unravel. YouTubers, everybody that tweet and deletes, you've watched them unravel. Because it's not in my hands. I let God do the work. I'm good. You watched it unravel. I ain't gotta address anything. I don't. Relationships that I've helped build, if they falling apart, I didn't do it. But what happens? Yo, Drew, did you hear about this? No. I ain't worried about them. What happened though? Yo, this happened, that. Oh, word? Okay. Well, ain't got nothing to do with me. I left them alone. I left them alone. Y'all have no idea. I tell y'all that all the time. I'm a broken record at this point. Y'all have no idea what I've gone through behind the scenes trying to, keep shit in order, build relationships and shit. Y'all have no idea. No idea. Do you mean B's? I read what you said. Yeah, man. I mean, look, a guy like, a count on my brother, salute. A guy like Floyd, you don't keep him in your circle. He's a secret hater. He's a secret hater. He's smiling and partying with you, and on the back end, the bad shit happening to you, he's at the root of it. I've seen a dozen Floyds in my lifetime. They're secret haters. Steal your wallet in your house and then help you look for it type niggas. You coming out the club and you get robbed and you're like, what the fuck? What happened? I don't know. But he know the niggas. Yo, man, don't fuck with that girl. Month later, you find out he's fucking her. You have a conversation with Shorty. Oh, man, your man told me that you ain't like me. Your man told me that you thought I was ugly. Never said that. Yeah, I've been through that. That's Floyd. Floyd never want to see anybody progress past him. That's why he passed the torch to Canelo. Because he thought he'd be out of reach. Now watch God work. Now watch God work. This dumb nigga passes it to Canelo. Canelo went on to do some really good things in his career. But like I said, we can nitpick. We can. That's why I got Benavidez there. Do you understand that that's going to be an asterisk on his career? That Benavidez work that he ducked? And then of all people, Bud Crawford, who's not as flashy, he's a darky, right? He's a darky. He's a spook, right? When he smiles in the dark, all you see is his eyes and his teeth, right? He's not out loud. He just flat out told all of his opponents, yeah, I'm going to beat your ass. And he did it. Undisputed in 3 weight classes. In the last fight, he beat the motherfucker that Floyd passed the torch to. Don't take that, Floyd. And he's passing the torch to Devin, the guy that you tried to knock the rails off of. Watch God work. Watch God work. You see? You see? Did I just not put this into perspective for you? You see? Oh, Drew, you're getting too deep. Well, you could think of it how you want to think of it. But I'm watching this thing. Where's the lie? Because Bud ain't got no asterisk in his career. He fought and dominated Errol. And I fucks with Errol, but we saw what we saw. He was willing to do the rematch. It didn't happen. We haven't seen Errol since. We don't know if he's retired. We don't know. Bud goes on, and guess what? Who told him to fight Canelo? Who put that in his head? Bill, right? Right? Bill, right?
You fool-ass Earth man.
He said, Bud, you know what? You can get Canelo. He said, I don't know. There's weight classes for a reason, until he met Canelo. And he said, wait a minute. This dude ain't as big as I thought. Yo, I could get this guy. Had niggas out here talking about, yo, this is just a money grab. I said, I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't think Bud is cut from that cloth where he'll just do something for money. No, I don't see that in him. I don't know. We'll find out, because he's in it now. And he outclassed Canelo. When that fight was signed, I said, all right, it's signed. But I told y'all, Bud's all wrong for Canelo, because I know it gives Canelo problems. Y'all erected all of these obstacles and tried to tell us who's the best fighter of the decade. Canelo, Golovkin, all these other people. I said, nah. I had Errol up there, and I did have Bud up there. And Bud left no doubt. Undisputed 140, undisputed 147, undisputed. He skipped 54 and 60, went straight to 68, got it done. And he said, fuck you guys, I ain't fighting no more. So all of that nasty shit that Floyd Mayweather Jr. was doing behind the scenes to DHP, DHP put the bug in Bud's ear and said, yo, you could get Canelo. Bud agreed, and he beat the ass of the redhead Mexican that Floyd Mayweather passed the torch to. And don't look now, Devin's already better than Floyd career-wise. I don't want to hear it. Because the same nigga that said belts don't do nothing but collect dust, one of the major things he uses when he's justifying his career is, like I said before, I beat more world champions than any fighter in the history of the sport. Okay, you did that, but belts don't matter. Shut up, dude. Go sit down. Go sit your little ass down with your high boots. Go sit your little ass down with your high hooker boots. I'm saying those boots, they cost more than your whole salary. They sure do. And like a dummy, you're wearing them. Idiot. Why would you? Whatever, man. Whatever. Broke nigga mentality. I spent $125 on a pair of Timberlands. And I used them for what they were for, because it was cold outside. And I grew up in the Bronx in the 90s in steel-toed pigskins. You might need them shits if you was getting jumped on a train, because you needed to turn into Chuck Norris and Jet Li, because they became weapons. So yeah, I use those pigskin Tims for what they were for. In no universe am I going to wear some knee-high Fendi boots or Gucci boots for over $100,000. Knee-high? Again, knee-high Gucci boots? Nigga. Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down somewhere. Fuck out of here. Catch me with a pair of $110,000, anything on my goddamn feet. $10,000, anything on my goddamn feet. You crazy. Man, I'm so simple. You know why? I will walk into a lounge with jeans and sneakers on, and I'll get your girl looking at me. All I gotta do is wear a fitted shirt, and it's over. It's over. You want to know why Floyd Mayweather was insecure? You remember that meet and greet in the UK? And he was standing next to Anthony Joshua. Floyd's net worth is 10 times more than AJ, especially at that time. And nobody cared. You know why? AJ could walk in a club and turn every head in the room of every woman in there. He's a handsome lad, muscular, very athletic. Floyd has to trick. He has to make it rain in the club. He has to do that to get attention. Because at the end of the day, he's like all of what, 5'6"? He's a little nigga. So he has to lead with his bread. If AJ wasn't a boxer, but he still looked like that, any bitch that Floyd tricked on to get, and he would lead with his pockets. AJ wouldn't have to do that if he was into chicks. Uh-oh. I'm kidding, but I'm not. Because he just looks like that. That's just it. Women are attracted to dudes that look alpha. The bigger the man, the more protected you are. That's another reason why my boy Q got a lot of chicks. He was big and overweight, but yeah, he could scrap too. He wasn't no punk. Women like to feel protected. Floyd even has to pay for protection. So there it is. Bud is not that, well, I'm bigger than a lot of these guys in the lighter weights. I'm bigger than Canelo. I walk right past Canelo. That dude he's small himself to me as he's small himself. But I'm 6'2". But Bud don't have those same insecurities. He don't. Rod Neal in that super chat, he said Bumgarner gave AJ hungry eyes after the fight. Yo, listen, when AJ was leaving the ring, did y'all see those ladies? Man, I say, AJ, don't do it, brother. You're in Miami. Don't do it. Somebody looking to catch a case. Keep your hands with it. He didn't take his gloves off, thank God. He's just flexing and taking pictures. Don't do it, brother. Next thing you know, you get back to the UK. You have a case, some chick crying on the news. He punched my bum. What? I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Yeah, all right. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it, bruv. Stay away from these hoes out here. Good for him. Anyway. That's how God works, man. Let me put it into perspective. Floyd is such a goddamn hater. Because let me remind y'all. King Corleone, salute. Let me remind y'all. I would have liked to have seen Floyd give Keith Thurman a chance on the way out back when he was one time. I don't think Keith would have beat him, but attempted. Instead, he gives us Conor McGregor as if we didn't know he was going to win that fight. Renzo, what up? Philip D, salute. As if we didn't know he was going to beat Conor fucking McGregor. I would have liked to have seen him give Keith Thurman an opportunity. Instead, he gives us Conor McGregor. But he officially passed the torch as a pay-per-view star to Canelo Alvarez. That's what he did. Enter Bud Crawford. Nobody was paying attention. The people that watched boxing was. And all he did was what? Put in the work. That's all he did. He put in the work. Wins undisputed, right? And yeah, he fought Andre fucking Berto. And salute to Andre, but goddamn, come on. Couldn't fight Keith. Bud wins that night on ESPN. Andre Ward, this was before he fought Sergey Kovalev. Bud won by knockout. And while being interviewed by Teddy Atlas, and Andre Ward was there as a commentator, he tells these brothers straight to their fucking face, the darky and the high yellow half white Negro, that Lomachenko was number one pound for pound. It was unprovoked, and the question of of pound for pound number one wasn't even a topic. But Teddy Atlas felt the need to forward that information. They didn't ask. I took this picture off my television, and I made this meme because I was mad as hell. I said, "Why are you doing that? Lomachenko's number one pound for pound. Bud and Ward. How much they paying you to say that shit, Teddy? Loma already had lost his second pro fight. You're looking at 2 undefeated black fighters. A light-skinned Negro and a darkie. And Teddy said that straight to their face. So when I tell you niggas, I need to dial it back and understand what we're up against. Oh, Drew, why are you being racist? Explain this shit right here. Why? If that was a Turo Gaddy that was on the route to what Bud was about to do, you think Teddy would have said that? Didn't Paulie Malignaggi say that this is the time of the European fighter? The time of the black fighter is over? Something to that degree. That's what he said, right? Well, what do you got to say now? Because since then, Devin's emerged. Bud's undisputed in 3 different weight classes. Where's Loma? My back hurts. Gennady Golovkin about to go to Hall of Fame. For what? I don't know. I don't know. Janibek, pop dirty. Oh, Bud, Janibek. Oh, yeah. Bud and Janibek, yeah. Bud could go undisputed at 160. Janibek, pop dirty. Look at God. Look at God. I'm like, yo, all right, Janibek is okay, but why y'all got him in the ring with Bud? Why is he the main gun at 160? I don't know. Then he pops dirty. I said, oh, y'all really want to see Bud lose? See, that's the difference. See, listen. When I say your favorite fighter needs to prove himself, and I'd like to see him fight his contemporaries, I'm not saying I want to see him lose. I want to see him prove it. Bud is undisputed in 3 weight classes. You're asking him to go down a weight class to test his mettle against who? So for a second, I was like, if he wants to do that, I'm with it. But why y'all keep talking about this Janibek dude? And then he pops dirty. The video I did about him, there's 2 Russians in there talking shit. Dude wrote a whole paragraph that he got from Google talking about, oh, well, you before you post something ignorant, you need to do this. He's basically called me a nigga. And then he highlighted and cut and paste exactly something that I read from Google. And he says, well, why would he take drugs 4 days before the competition? How about because he didn't take it 4 days before the competition? How about he was cycling off of it? Stupid. And by the way, how long does it take to go to the B sample? So I politely told him, I said, listen, if the B sample comes back clean, we'll deal with it. But until then, he's dirty because that's the news. It's funny how people run to the defense of who they want to defend. That's funny, right? They run to the defense whoever they want to defend. Michael Bay, salute. You always want to run and defend who you want to defend. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's defending Janibek. ATX, salute. Canelo pops for clenbuterol. BVO, salute. J-Man. He pops for clenbuterol. Nothing but excuses. Canelo says, oh, I don't want to fight Benavidez. All he has to add on fight night, all he has to bring to the table is an additional 20 pounds on fight night. He said that, right? That's what he said. The Canelo fans was like, yeah. I said, that don't matter because as long as if he makes weight, that's all that matters. But okay, yeah, he's a weight bully, right? Benavidez says, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to go to 75. This guy don't want to fight. He fought Vostik. Right? Canelo goes on to fight Edgar Berlanga. Word on the street was Edgar rehydrated up to like 200 pounds. And he looked it. Now, David fought Vostik, and he rehydrated. Now, he was at 75. He rehydrated, and on his fight night, he was about 4 pounds lighter on fight night than Berlanga was versus Canelo on their fight night. Gio James, salute. He was 4 pounds lighter than him. But Canelo, you still fought him. You dropped him in all that. Look, man, Canelo ain't want no smoke with Benavidez, and I think we've seen why. He's too big, but he can make the weight. He throws a billion punches. He's accurate, and he's strong as hell. So he made a decision. I'm not going to follow the path that Canelo already made for himself. I'm going to create my new path and set a trail. And I firmly believe if David Benavidez keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to surpass Canelo Alvarez and have more he'll have more respect. Don't tell me that David Benavidez is too big for you, but I watched you knock Amir Khan unconscious, who had no business fighting you. What was that, at 160, 168? I forgot. But when that fight was signed, I said, you got to be kidding me. Why is this fight even happening? We knew how it was going to end. Why? And I say this respectfully because no one thought that Amir Khan would win. That shit ended exactly how we knew. We said that we don't know at what round, but Canelo's going to catch him and he's going to sleep. That's what happened. And y'all celebrated that, but we can't get Benavidez at 68, man. Shut up. Boo Boo Andrade fought Benavidez. Caleb Plant fought Benavidez. Everybody fights this guy at 68 but you. And this is who Floyd passed the torch to. Bud came through and beat that golden boy, right? Whole time he was rocking with DHP. And DHP is the one that told Bud, yo, you can get Canelo. So all that shit that Floyd was doing to Bill, the fix was in because Bill's the one that put the idea of fighting Canelo in Bud's head. You see how God works? Look at God. You see that? So now what you got, Floyd? Now what you got? Nothing. Nothing. So he's passed the torch to Devin Haney. Now, I'm going to use this same meme and let's work on this because all I see is the work. This was 15 faces that Tank could have fought, but didn't. I'm sorry. That's that guy right down there in the middle. Lamont Roach. That's the only guy he fought and fought to a draw. But now let's use the same list and apply it to Devin. Based off of Devin's activities, Space and Opportunity tells us he's fighting everybody. Let's go through it. He already fought Linares, beat him. He fought Loma, beat him. Mikey Garcia was gone before Devin rose to prominence, but he'd have fought him, absolutely. Superdale Matias, remember? We're still waiting for that phone call. Remember that? Remember that? Oh, his hands are broken. And this was after he beat the Rougarou right there underneath. Regis Prograis beat him. Remember Bill came on my live stream? Yeah, we reached out. We spoke to Superdale Matias' team. And we was like, oh, shit. Then it had niggas hitting me up. Yo, Bill lied again. He never spoke to his team. I was like, wait a minute. He spoke to somebody. Remember that? Peter Khan. Remember I did a whole live stream on that. You remember Peter Khan? Remember that? Remember that name? I said, wait a minute. Why would Peter Khan call Bill about the business of Superdale Matias when he's not a part of their team? I spoke to somebody that knows Superdale's team personally, and I called him and I said, what's up with that? He said, I don't know, but they mad at Peter Khan. That Monday or Tuesday, Team Matias was on the Boxing Voice. And who invaded the airwaves? Bill. He said, I wasn't talking to the right person before. I'm talking to the right people now. What's good? And they said, hey, his hands, they broke. And, we'll call you. We'll fly you out to Arizona. And, yeah, I was like, yeah, 2 weeks. We'll talk in 2 weeks. Okay, cool. Remember I did that show? They never called. Superdale Matias ducked Devin Haney. Shut up. Shakur. He's gonna be drained. He's gonna be drained. Remember that? What did he do? Devin says, all right, before I leave 35, you the last fight I want. Remember Bill sat up with Bob Arum? Give us one more fight. Top rank. Bob said no. Then they went to Shakur personally. Shakur said, I know my worth. Remember that? Know your worth. This is going to be your first time on pay-per-view. It's going to be the most money you've made. And Devin's going to be drained? And you don't want this fight? Even now, he said he's going to have to catch weight Devin. Even now. Right now. What does he do? He fights Edwin De Los Santos in a stinker. It stunk so bad, according to, because I didn't say it stink. Everyone else said it stunk. It stunk so bad that Tank said, if he want to fight me again, he got to rematch Edwin De Los Santos in Baltimore. Well, there goes that. Gary Russell ducked. Shout out to Gary Russell. But y'all know the story. Not lying. And Pop said, nah, we just don't want it. I was like, damn. No fight, Batman? He said, nah, Slim, no fight. I said, damn. Teofimo Lopez, do you have to go on record with that? Josh Taylor, Teofimo smoked him. Regis Prograis, Devin smoked him. George Kambosos, Devin smoked him for Undisputed and smoked him again in Australia. Keyshawn Davis, come on now. The brothers got to get right. Lamont Roach, he was down at 130. But if he ends up in the same division as Devin, don't think Devin won't fight this guy. Ray Matala, Abdullah Mason. Don't think if they end up in the same division that Devin ain't gonna. Devin is with the shits. Xavier, salute. Devin is with the shits. He has a reputation of running into burning buildings about to collapse. When has he said no? Now reverse the roles. How many people told him no? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think I made my point. And Canelo can't even fight Benavidez. Canelo's what? Giving you the John Ryders of the world, and he's fighting sparring partners. Shout out to the PBC because Canelo came through and said, give me a 3-fight deal, and David Benavidez was not in those 3-fight deals. He was none of those fights, and the PBC paid him all that money, and Tank was sitting right there, completely undervalued the young king, Tank Davis, right? Am I lying? Y'all don't think Tank deserved that bread? And then they say, hey, man, you got a 7-fight deal. You got a 7-fight deal. Then they said, who's on the 7-fight deal? He said, whoever you name. Y'all know the video already. I ain't got to play it. He said, yup. Devin Haney, yup. Shakur Stevens, yup. He fights Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach wasn't even in that conversation. He fights him to a draw. He brings him up from 130, fights him to a draw. He's not running it back. And right now, since he couldn't retire off of the Jake Paul fight, right now, he's giving you a fight with a guy he already beat already at 140 at a weight class that y'all said was too big for him. And trust me, more on that shit tomorrow. More on that shit tomorrow. So all I see is the work. I saw Bud's work. I see Devin's work. So absolutely, I appreciate Bud passing the torch to Devin Haney. Check the resume. Check. I'm gonna put it up again. I think I'm bullshitting. Name the fighter on this list. I got a better resume than Devin Haney. Name it. Go ahead. Name it. Mikey Garcia's not active no more, but you can consider his resume. Is it better than Devin's? No. No. All I see is the work. All I see is the work. So I know y'all want to cut Devin down. You want to talk about how big his nose is and all this other shit. Tell me about the work. Stop telling me about cars and tattoos and hair and jewelry. Stop that shit. Let's get to the work. We're going to be a dick about it. Who got deeper pockets than Devin Haney on this page right here? Uh-oh. Stop right there. Don't go there. I could put Tank on this page. It still don't match because Devin got more money than him. Look it up. Y'all don't give Devin no breaks. I mean, he is light-skinned. Y'all want to do that? So the money don't match on this page. The resume don't match on this page. He's beaten 1, 2, 3 people on this page. He's beaten his contemporaries on this page right here. And 1, 2, 3 people ducked him on this page. Lamont, what up? Shakur, Gary Russell, Tiafimo, Subriel Matias. 4 people ducked him on this page. All I see is the work. Bud don't even fuck with Tank. But Canelo don't even want to pass the torch to David Benavidez, though. Because he would get his ass whooped in that fight. I mean, Canelo will get beaten like you've never seen him get beaten before. Now at 86, back in that super chat. Salute to you, good brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. So what are we doing here? Not even Floyd Mayweather. He called out a lot of names when he was on Top Rank, but he wasn't getting none of those fights. But let's talk about the work. Devin has surpassed these dudes, man. So what better person to give the torch to but to Devin? So all that shit that Floyd was trying to do, he got outsmarted. He got outsmarted. Let me run it down again so it registers. Floyd told Ryan to come in overweight, which was a sin against God. He did. He did. He absolutely did that shit. And then tried to troll Bill on Instagram. Meanwhile, Bill told Bud, yo, you know you could get Canelo. So that was in the works. Ryan Garcia gets caught cheating and then is exposed as a racist. What did Floyd say about his racist outburst? I don't recall. Y'all gonna have to freshen my memory because I don't recall him saying shit. He just got quiet like the rest of you maniacs that celebrated Devin quote unquote losing, texting me at 5 in the fucking morning talking about karma because you want to suck Tank's penis. Where were you niggas when it came out that this dude was a cheater, and B, a racist? I ain't getting no phone calls. What happened? Yo, Drew, yo, you was right. I don't fuck with Devin, but you was right. You didn't even do that. Y'all niggas just disappeared. Oh, you long-haired Southern niggas. Oh, you pimp-looking niggas out Chicago, you fake niggas. You vanished. All you niggas. And then life started to unfold. It got worse and worse and worse. Then he gets in the ring with Broly and gets obliterated. He gets suspended for a year, gets in the ring with Rolly, and gets obliterated. Says, see, this is what happens when you're not on drugs. He loses a boxing match to Rolly fucking Romero. Go figure that. Devin gets back in the saddle. Y'all talk about, oh, he's scared. Why is he fighting Ramirez like that? Ramirez went to the hospital. Devin came to the after party. I was there. Shut him out. Fought a certain way because he says, man, we fighting this cheating ass racist Ryan Garcia next. We fighting him next. Win or lose. Ryan's excuse, my hands broke. But y'all said get it back in blood. Right? Get it back in blood. Now Devin's chasing around Rolly, and Rolly's like, who the fuck you talking about? Well, if I fight him and he gonna sue me for the next 5 years, what the fuck you talking about? You's a pussy, dude. Because Devin will knock you out. Pillow fist. You know the same pillow fist that dropped Brian Norman? Pillow fist, right? He will knock Rolly out. Rolly's been knocked out before. What the fuck you talking about? Rolly's been stopped twice. Y'all never said he was done. I'm sorry. That only applies to black fighters that you hate. You don't want to see them achieve something great. Boss. Rolly's ducking right now. Where are the videos? Where's the videos? Rolly's ducking right now. He was waiting on a rematch with Ryan Garcia. That didn't happen. Devin's like, what's up, Ryan? Let's run this. My hand broke. Then y'all want to get mad at TKO and Dana White and see all of this foolishness, and y'all not hurt. Y'all are supporting these guys ducking Devin Haney, and then y'all getting mad that Dana White's gonna come through and gonna obliterate the Muhammad Ali Act. No, y'all low key asked for this because y'all are not holding. Matter of fact, there's no Rolly fans. There's only Haney haters. There was no Ryan Garcia fans that weren't little girls or gay men. There's only Devin Haney haters. Because if y'all love boxing, y'all have held Canelo to the standard. But look at God work. While Floyd was being a dick and being out loud about his terroristic act, Bill went to Bud and said, you can get Canelo. You know the guy that Floyd passed the torch to? And Bud smoked this motherfucker. He smoked him. Oh, my God. And y'all were all in that little river in Africa, you know, the Nile. Ellie sucked back, talk about, Canelo, I had you winning the fight. He said, Ellie, come on. We have to accept what happened. We have to accept it. That's what he told him. I said, what fucking fight was Ellie watching? Oh, I'm sorry. He's watching penis. That's another idiot I don't respect. There was no part of that fight that Canelo won, man. He got smoked. Hey, Ellie, you remember when people were on the fence about the sparring and who won it? People said, wait a minute, Ellie, you were there. You have it on video. Before Devin was a rock star, you was there when AB and Tank rolled up and they got the sparring with, and Tank got the sparring with Devin. You were there. You have it on video. Ellie released the video. You know what he said? I'm not going to release the video because of my loyalty to Tank. Reporting. Well, not the reporting part, but that's what he said. They said, Ellie, wait a minute, you were there. He was always at the Mayweather gym. He was there that day. He has it on his own video. He knows what happened. Question, I don't follow him. Some of you may. Did he ever say that Devin lost that sparring? Because I heard what he did say. He said, I'm not releasing the footage because of my loyalty to Tank. So his loyalty to a fighter is why he didn't get involved in this debate. He could have said it straight. His loyalty to a fighter? Okay, cool. So he could have unconditional loyalty to a fighter, but when we stand in the pocket and defend the fighters doing the right thing, y'all come at us. You see? Now I don't remember what he said word for word. I don't remember what Paul Williams said word for word. Remind me. So it's okay for that clown to be loyal to a certain fighter. But when we stand in the pocket for the Errol Spencers and Bud Crawfords and Devin Haney's and Deontay Wilders of the world, and we call out the discrepancies in boxing as a whole, we're dick riders and we're race soldiers and all this other shit, man, get out of here, bro. I was a former Canelo fan or supporter. Y'all know I don't like to use that word fan. And I defended him until I couldn't anymore. The last straw was the Gennady Golovkin situation. It was time for you to fight. I got out of bed that morning. He relinquished the belt. I said, oh, my God, I can't defend it. You should have saw how they came for me in the comment section on Facebook. What you going to say? He ducking. I said, yo, I ain't got nothing to say. I can't defend this. I think he smokes Gennady Golovkin. But, yo, look, the reality is he dumped the belt. Maybe I have more faith in his skill set than he does. I had to be honest. Honest. That's the word, right? Honest. 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 Look at this meme again. I honestly told you how this list applies to Devin. Mikey was already gone. But based off of Devin's track record, there's not one person on this list that Devin wouldn't fight, granted the opportunity. And some of these people ducked Devin, and some of these people Devin fought. And when I tell y'all to apply this same logic to Tank Davis, well, I'm riddled with excuses. Tank was around, and he could have fought everybody on this list. Even right now, there's two individuals that he could fight right now, and they're belt holders. And he won't do it. Right now, he's trying to fight someone that he beat already at a weight that y'all told us that was too big for him. This guy makes y'all look stupid on a daily fucking basis, man. And it's a sad state of affairs. Now, where's the lie? Where's the lie? I ain't got a lot of y'all. My opinions come off of facts. My opinions come off of the facts. I always gonna ask y'all. I'm talking about any of these fighters and I have a gripe with them. Am I lying on them? I never had to lie on Bud. I never had to lie on David Benavidez. Never had to lie about Devin. Never had to lie on Canelo. I'm just pointing out, hey, he did this, this, and that. How am I supposed to interpret this? The problem is, right, with a dude like Tank, and it's Monkey Tuesday tomorrow, so you already know what I'm finna do. A dude like Tank, y'all will see what I'm seeing and y'all will interpret it to justify his actions. Something wrong with you niggas. Something wrong with you niggas. And niggas is nuts. Drew says, how can Bud pass the torch? He didn't do what Devin is doing. Devin not waiting around to see you slowing down to see if, well, here's my response to that, Juice, and I know you just pulled up. I'm not in the business of talking down Bud because nobody's in the business of talking down their fighters, whether they're Russian, whether they're Mexican, Argentinian. If they're that, they're the best thing since sliced bread. And before you pulled up, I said at the top of the show, there's every fighter, actually with the exception of Devin, every fighter to date, you could piece apart their resume, except Devin. I know what you're saying in hindsight, but what I'm saying with Bud is 3 division, undisputed, and he beat the quote-unquote face of boxing. He beat him. So I'm just riding with that on his face. I'm not dissecting careers or nothing. I could, but I'm not gonna. I'm saying I'm not gonna do it. I'm past that. Let's go with what's on paper. 3 division undisputed, and you going out beating Canelo. And I seen him working with Devin, and them chopping it up. They're both snack fighters. They become the face of corruption because it's snack and all this other shit. Meanwhile, they've never popped dirty. No fighter working with snack has popped because of the snack product. And by the way, salute to Bam Rodriguez because he's a snack athlete, and they have him in the pound for pound #1 conversation. I think Caleb Plant is a snack athlete. David Benavidez is a snack athlete. But they put the magnifying glass on who? Bud and Devin and Victor Conte. Right? So what better way? When we say since Bud has hung it up, he's gone out on his terms. The person that's next up doing legendary shit is Devin the Dream Haney. So that's why I'm saying he's passed the torch to Devin. He had it. Because if Canelo's the face of boxing, he smoked him. Got Canelo telling Ellie Sek back, you got to accept what we saw, man. He had an odd style. I couldn't get with it. Oh, that's what he said, Renzo? He said, Paul Williams said, I don't have a vagina, so Floyd won't fight me. I guess. And they never fought. They never fought. Yeah. I don't know. So I'm just dealing with those facts on his face, Juice. That's all I'm saying. And we have to start maintaining the same standard that everybody else maintains. I've watched Jermell Charlo get booed on American soil right before the rematch against the Argentinian that he eventually knocked out. What's that guy's name? But I've watched these Argentinian Americans boo him and scream Argentina while he was trying to chant USA. And I heard this hoe say, nobody even wants you here. Man, get out. Get out where? This is his country. She said, man, get out. Nobody even wants you here. You want to see God working again? And I ain't going to like this, but it's true. I played a video. I did a short about it. Nobody even wants you here. Man, get out. 3 years later, Trump. I wonder if her grandparents are here. Because she sounded very American. But her parents or grandparents might be 2nd or 3rd generation. Well, she might be 3rd generation. But her parents, I don't know. Do they have green cards? I don't see them deporting Scottish and Irish people. Every time I turn on TV, it's Somalis and Latinos. My God. Yeah, Juice, I'm not even on that, brother. You see, brother. I know you just pulled up, brother. But this, I said at the top of the show, I'm not doing all of that. I'm not doing that. And we as a collective have to stop doing that. We got to stop doing that, brother. We got to stop doing that. Because I don't see Mexicans doing that. A Mexican could see exactly what Canelo's doing. But you know what they won't do? They won't voice it. They'll just be quiet. They'll be quiet. They'll see exactly what we see. And they'll know we're right, but they're going to be quiet. I said, and I know you just Snoop, what up? I know you just pulled up, but I said there's a lot of things with every fighter that we could piece apart. Devin's the only, Castano, True Boxer Night, Devin's the only person I can't piece apart like that. I'm being honest. Can't piece it apart. Oh, and Deontay. I can't do that. You could do it with Bud. We could do it with a lot of fighters. But Bud's going out on top. So I'm going to treat Bud like how everybody else treats their fighters. I'm not going to do it. 3-time undisputed, and he beat the quote-unquote face of boxing. I'm just dealing with that on his face. That's it. So for him to co-sign Devin, I'm cool. Aaron, salute. Exactly. Mexicans ain't saying Pitbull lost. They saying he beat Tank. I got on here and said, yeah, Tank had one hand, but I think he boxed well enough, and Pitbull is a one-trick pony. He outboxed Pitbull. That's what I said. That's what I said. But I couldn't find a Mexican that said that Pitbull lost that fight. In fact, they said run it back, and now they're going to get what they asked for. Now it might backfire. 140, if Pitbull's really going to try and take his fucking head off again. But we're going to see. We're going to see. But I'm trying to focus on, Tank, run that back, run the fade back with the guy that you fought to a draw. Why running it back with, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not, with Bud, I'm not on that. I'm not on that. He's passing the torch to Devin. I'm focused on his success. And as a collective family, we got to stop doing that. Juice, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying at the top of the show, I told the audience, I know you just pulled up. I'm not going to do that with Bud. I'm not doing that. I'm going to focus on what he did. I'm going to give you the circle of life, Juice, since I know you just pulled up. The circle of life. Floyd Mayweather tried to he tried to derail the Haneys. That's what he tried to do. Exactly, Juice. That's what I'm saying, brother. That's all I'm saying. We know what it is. But if you got beef with your brother or sister, y'all don't bring that beef outside. Y'all keep it in the house. You got beef with your siblings, but if your sibling goes outside and somebody jumps on your sibling, you ain't gonna stand there. You're gonna go in and help your sibling. Circle of life is this in boxing. Floyd Mayweather tried to derail DHP. He told Ryan Garcia to come in overweight because he knew Bill and Devin was not going to pull out the fight. He knew that. Told him to come in overweight. Right? He didn't deny it in that interview. Yeah, I know the interview I'm talking about. I have it as a short video. He said, nah, I got to avoid lawsuits, get sued. But he didn't say no. He didn't say he didn't do it. All right, fine. So he got that off. But Floyd Mayweather passed the torch to Canelo as the pay-per-view star after he beat him. All around strong salute after he beat him. Because Canelo went on to be a pay-per-view star. Years later, while Bud Crawford is doing the work, becoming undisputed in 3 different divisions, well, at first 2 different divisions, something that Floyd never did, right? He fights and beats Canelo. All right, he smoked him. It wasn't even close. And who told Bud to do that? Because when they asked Bud, what about Canelo? Bud was on record saying, nah, there's weight classes for a reason. I'm not doing that. Until he met him and said, oh, shit, this guy ain't that big. Bill Haney is the one that told Bud, you should go get Canelo. You see how that works? And Bud wasn't doing it out of malice. He wasn't doing that thinking about Floyd. He was just saying, Bud, you could actually go do that shit. And he did it. He did it. Now, Renzo, I'll get you the short right now. I'll find it for you right now because I have it. I'll get it for you right now. Here it is. Here it is. Share screen. Just talking to camera on. Listen to this, y'all.
Help Ryan or tell Ryan he should come in 3 pounds overweight.
Well, with me on here with you guys right now, I believe that they're going with the New York Commission. There's huge problems with the WBC. The New York Commission and certain things, you know, I can't speak on because I'll fuck around and get a lawsuit. So I have to be very, very careful with speaking about certain situations.
Right.
I believe that they're going with the New York Commission. There's huge problems with the WBC, the New York Commission, and certain things, you know, I can't speak on because I'll fuck around and get a lawsuit. So I have to be very, very careful with speaking about certain situations.
Right. How?
That nigga, all he had to do was say, no, I didn't. All he had to do was say, nah, Cam, nah, I didn't. I never told him that. You know why he didn't say no? Because if he had said no, Ryan would have been like, yo, I was listening to him. The sinking ship. Did Ryan not try and take everybody down with him? He started talking about Scooter and everybody else. Scooter, some Ben Wallace looking dude that raped him in the forest when he was 2 years old. Some shit. He blamed everybody. He blamed George Floyd. Why wouldn't he blame Floyd Mayweather? Wrong Floyd, asshole. All he had to do was say no. He never said no. You see what I mean? Let them talk. Let them talk. Stormy says, hold on, Drew. Don't forget this detail. Floyd held up Bud's attempt for greatness against Errol by stating, this fight doesn't happen until I tell y'all. I forgot about that. You remember that? Remember when he said, this fight don't happen until I say it happens? Remember that? You remember that? And it wasn't too far after that when Errol said, I feel like I'm being played. Remember that tweet? And I was like, what's he talking about? What is he talking about? He was talking about Al Heyman and Floyd, the PBC. And then I was there at the Palladium when they had the face-off. They didn't hate each other. Then he grabbed the mic and started talking about, yo, where does these fees go with the sanctioning bodies? I said, what is Errol on? And magically, we haven't seen him fight since. Magically, we haven't seen Errol since. Are y'all paying attention or y'all just dicking around? This is why I don't fuck with Floyd. This is why. That's why. Devin was the victim in all of this. And through all of that, all I see is the work. That's why I look at y'all strange when y'all talk up Ryan Garcia. I look at y'all niggas in the media strange when y'all online laughing with him and talking with him. I look at y'all strange. I don't pay y'all bills. But all that media in the world, I would gracefully tell my boss, don't put me in, I don't want to talk to this kid. He said he was going to cut the George Floyd family a check. Has he done it? Oh, he was just on shrooms. I was like, whoa. Y'all heard him say he was on shrooms. He said it out loud. Racist piece of shit. But he gets a pass? This who you root for? This the guy? Oh, you're pro-black though, but you hate Devin. Muktube University Music in that super chat. He says, if you cap it for Janabek, you a Johnny come lately. Real shit. My Janabek video, I got 2 Russians in there capping for this dude. I'm waiting on the B sample. Let the truth reveal itself. I'm waiting on the B sample. I'm just dealing with the news. These dudes are cutting and pasting what Google said. I don't care. There's niggas running around right now talking about Ryan didn't cheat. They started out by saying Osterine doesn't do anything. Then they said, okay, well, it's on the ban list, but it was only 1/1000 of a gram. I said, well, how do you inject 1/1000 of a gram into you? That means it was leaving his system and he got caught. Then he comes in overweight. Oh, well, the weight don't matter. Well, Tank drained him. Look at BFTV's video from this morning. It's a reminder of shit we already knew. Weight's not a problem, but it's a problem. But weight is a problem, but it was no problem. Didn't Tank call this dude a cheater? Come to find out, he was right. Because Devin let all of that go, and look where it got him. Almost got him killed in the ring, didn't it? And by the way, he got up every time. And y'all laughed. Y'all didn't say the kid has heart. Y'all didn't say that. That's reserved for others. You see that? So I'm looking at this Bud Crawford thing, passing the torch to Devin, and I respect it. And I'm looking at what Canelo did. Benavidez is his fellow Latino. He did not even bother to do for him what Floyd did to him. But the torch that Bud has, he took from Canelo, and he did it fair and square. He took it from him. And while he's leaving the game, he's handling it to Devin. All of that shit, I don't remember what he said for word, but when Devin beat Brian Norman, he said, all that crap y'all talked, and he won.
Stupid butts.
Look at that. Yep. All I see is the work. And salute to Benavidez. He ain't wait on Canelo, and now he's going to cruiserweight. Come on, man. That fella's the truth. That fella's the truth. Canelo tried to drain Badu Jack 18 pounds for his cruiserweight title. He said, man, get out of here. Go fight Benavidez. See what I mean? So what are we doing? Are we going to analyze everyone's record, or are we going to just take it on his face? Because I'm just going to take it on his face. Like, yeah, man, you know, he was undisputed at 168. He lost. Inside the square circle, exactly. Tank drained that guy. He did. He did. But now we see why he was so strict on him. Because Ryan wasn't drained versus Devin. There was an agreed weight. They had to readjust the contract so the weight could be allowable. You know what I mean? And Ryan is just horrible, and I can't wait to see him gone. But more on Tank tomorrow. It's Monkey Tuesday. You already know what I'm finna do. So it is what it is. Salute to Bud. Salute to Devin Dream Haney. Salute to David Benavidez. Canelo, you can go ahead and retire. Because outside of Benavidez and I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. Benavidez or what? A Bivol rematch? Probably. Or if the third fight, if Beterbiev wins Bivol, if he beats Bivol, you're going to fight Beterbiev. You're not doing that. That's suicide. That's a suicide mission. You don't duck Benavidez to fight Artur Beterbiev. That's a suicide mission. So you're not doing that. So Canelo, you may as well retire, bro. Unless you're going to wait next year for Jake Paul's chin to heal up, his jaw to heal up. It's broken in 3 places. I guess your fans are going to respect that, right? Man, y'all go ahead, man. Y'all been exposed, and I love it. Salute to everybody in Venmo, the Zelda, Cash App, Super Chat, Pep Talk tonight. And we also, Nerds on Culture, me and Stormy. We're going to talk about our favorite Christmas specials growing up. So the OGs, y'all pull up, man. It's going to be a fun discussion. The General on? I think the General's on. General might be on. Oh, man, it's 11:30. Man, salute to y'all, man. I'll see y'all tonight, man. Bronx on deck.
Move!
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.